We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show, episode 454. I'm your man behind the microphone and your current new Scholars of Wrestling party champion. I am Scholar Jeff. Joining us this week is the new Scholars of Wrestling world champion. Once again, the OG undisputed Scholar Tarek. Scholar Tarek, I guess you're feeling pretty nice right about now.
I'm enjoying the little high that I have in ending 2023 as Scholar of the Year and starting 2024 as the Scholars of Wrestling Heavyweight Champion of the World. Or
As you blow out your mic.
as I put out my little title here, the OG Undisputed Champion Scholar, Tarek.
Yeah,
The the
we're gonna
long
make
name.
sure Goldie gets to you the next time we see you. But in the meantime, also joining us this week, he is Mr. Scholars in the Bank. He is Scholar Charlie. Scholar Charlie, it's been a busy week. How are you feeling right now?
This week has been a wrestling emotional roller coaster. I've gone from thinking that people are sheeple to with the "We Want Cody" movement to admitting that I'm part of that sheeple and admitted that I'm being worked to putting up "We Got Cody." Is the main event has been announced for WrestleMania: Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. So I'm a happy, happy boy doing my happy dance over here, going to WrestleMania, seeing Cody Rhodes.
Oh, yes. As a fellow ticket holder, there's a lot to be excited about, and we're going to break down the entire legendary week that was and all of the perspectives that go with it as they happen. But before that, we also have some other major news stories in the world of wrestling to talk about in a little segment we like to call Backstage News.
Indeed, we shall go ahead and peek behind the curtain and see what the other wrestling promotions are doing while this wild, insane week happened. And we like to call backstage news.
News.
News,
News.
news,
News.
news, news.
News.
Echoes. We wish Brian was here. Meh.
The fact that Brian is not here is a meh.
That alone, yes.
Get well soon.
Yep.
Soon.
We wish you a speedy recovery, Scholar Brian. But in the meantime, we got a lot of wrestling news to talk about, including first off, right out of the gate, we've got Scott D'Amore, the head of TNA, and what appears to be its new resurgence, out of nowhere this week, suddenly got released from his position at TNA. A lot of rumors and stories going around. Supposedly, Scott D'Amore tried to buy TNA, and maybe that was what set Anthem off. And but then again, that's all speculation at this point. Uh Tarek, Charlie, what do you make of this?
My only real response to this is as long as it really doesn't affect the on-air content, I don't think it really changed anything for me. I mean, I know he's a big wrestling guy and he knows what he's doing. And I really didn't know the details of why he got released in the first place. And you thought like I hear it's just like he was fired, he just resigned. Uh I'm just learning now of the reason of him possibly trying to purchase TNA. That's the first I've heard of it. I guess just as long as the on-screen product isn't really affected by it, I guess it's just another day of like the backstage politics of professional wrestling.
Yeah, it's sure has this kind of thing happened before? Absolutely, no question. But I guess what struck me more so as just being so unusual and strange about this whole situation is it just seems like TNA has just been on unparalleled upswing, the likes of which it has not seen in a very long time, decades even. So I guess I just see something like that. I'm wondering, like, with all the upswing, that TNA is on right now. All these good things, all these major things happening. How did we get here and why now?
You can answer that one, Charlie.
It's
I
all
mean,
speculation at this
I'm
point.
with Tarek on this one. TNA seems to be on a good page right now with their product, and as long as it doesn't change their product, I'm okay with it.
Fair enough. You're probably right in all estimation. It's probably not going to affect their creative output all that much. Any meaningful impact Scott D'Amore has had is probably going to be he already has laid the groundwork, and if he has to go now, then he has to go now. But if
It's
TNA is
just
doing good, yeah, continue.
as long as it's just not through any like controversial sentiments, then yeah, then the question is where do they go? Is just I guess just forward. Because
Yeah.
really, what else can they do other than just it's not like it's gonna change anything that's going on in the storytelling, in the content, even in the wrestling itself. So I mean, as long as we're getting good product and the wrestlers are happy, there's nothing really to go except well, it sucks because again, he's a big fan. It's not to the Tony Khan levels, but
So let me get this straight. He went to buy the company, and they just said offer denied, and you're fired.
That has not been officially confirmed. They've all that's the report only report I've seen just over the past hour is that supposedly Scott D'Amore tried to make a bid to
Yeah.
buy TNA from Anthem.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's the impetus for his firing, I have not yet seen that connection confirmed, but you know, when there's smoke, there's fire, as they say.
Mhm.
But speaking of Tony Khan, that was not the only major announcement we got this week because AEW and Tony Khan announced that they're going to be running a show called Big Business out of the TD Garden in Boston on March 13th. And if you saw some of the key artwork, they spelled Boston with two S's, as in Boston. It's very clearly obvious that this is going to be the place where they announce the signing officially of Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks. A lot of us probably thought this was going to happen, knew that this announcement was in the pipeline, but were they in the moment, now that we got confirmation, what is your immediate reaction and how big do you think this is going to be as a pickup for AEW?
it's going to be a very big pickup for AEW. This is for someone as pricey as Mercedes Moné. It's definitely going to be assurance that the criticism that AEW has had with its women's division, it's going to start on the going on the down low because you don't purchase a contract like Mercedes Moné and be like, "Yep, we're here. She's here now. Here she is," and now just throw her by the wayside like they've done with other big signing.
Yeah, I really hope it's not the case of being another shiny new toy for AEW, where she's on camera for about a month and then just lost in the shuffle. I hope they actually make use of her.
Yeah, I understand fully the reasons why some of you might be a little bit hesitant because we've absolutely seen that with some recent
Yeah.
signings in the past, no question. But there's a couple things that are really making me think that this is not the way it's going to go this time. First of all, is just the positioning of the show itself. So far, there's only ever been one special edition of Dynamite or whatever you want to call it for an incoming wrestler, and that's CM Punk. If they're rolling out the red carpet in a similar way at all for Mercedes, then you best believe that he's going to want a return on his investment, and she's going to be plastered all over the place, especially with all the criticisms coming about how Tony Khan is booking his women's division. That's going to clear things right up.
And
But
considering
even so,
considering what kind of like who they have in that division, all for it. Turn it in the
oh,
right direction. Bring on the attention towards AEW's women's revolution. No pun intended.
oh hell yeah. But even more so than that, there's one other factor that's making me believe that there is not gonna be any wasted potential from this whole Mercedes Moné run. And that is the fact that lately AEW has lost a lot of momentum compared to WWE. I
Very
still
much.
love AEW, but they need a pick me up in their post punk years in a very, very major way.
Yeah.
And this signing of Mercedes Moné is probably going to be one their big opportunity to reestablish some momentum. And I don't think anybody, Tony Khan or otherwise, wants to see them squash it.
I actually think they're going to also just focus on big business itself because you're not just, I don't think we're going to get just Mercedes Moné as an announcement on that particular show. I actually think they're going to do just have this be the biggest night for AEW 2024. And I think they're actually also going to announce the signing of Okada.
You know, I was going to make that a scholar's quick talk because I had the same thought. I'm like, you know what? They're both sort of money themed. Rainmaker got the coin drop at the beginning of his theme. I'm like, wait, someone mentioned that on Reddit the other day. I'm like, wait a minute. If the rumors are true, and it looks like I still believed right from the start that Okada was more than likely going to sign with AEW and not WWE. And you know what? I think you might be right. I think there's a good chance that they absolutely could announce both the signings of Mercedes and Okada in the same night. My one concern is, do you think that the announcement of both of them at the same time, do you think one might overshadow the other at all?
Well,
I
you
don't
just
think
said
so.
it. You just said it there. If they announced them both at the same time, it could be one big impact instead of one overshining the other. It could just be the announcement of both signing with and
So
being
you
double
think that they're
impact
going to,
instead of
by debuting at the same time, they're not going to, one is deliberately not
one
going to
won't
overshadow the
outshine.
other.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's certainly what I hope to see. But Tarek, what do you think? Which way do you think this is going to go, if any?
One announcement is going to open the show, the other announcement is going to close it. I think the show is going to open with Mercedes Moné, CM Punk style in Chicago, and the show is going to end with Okada at, setting up a big angle.
Okay.
Hmm. That I would love to
Sure.
see, and for the exact same reason too. Like if you kick things off with Mercedes Moné, and then you get Kazuchika Okada, the freaking Rainmaker, confirmed to your company in the United States. That's a 1-2 punch that especially now AEW sorely, sorely need. Yeah, we've got a good champion. Yeah, we've got some hot up and comers with Swerve Strickland. He's like right on the cusp of becoming the next champion.
Yeah.
But there's still that X factor, that major star power that AEW sorely needs, and this is most likely going to be it. I'm
I was like,
just
to add what you said, the up and comers with Swerve and Adam Page. I mean, just from this last night's show alone, they had another amazing match together that ended in such a great way with the timed out finish. And it looks like, yeah, Adam Page is now a full-on bad guy, and I actually am really looking forward to seeing a heel Adam Page. It felt like a real double turn with Swerve playing so much the babyface in that match.
He
I
really did. He
and
really
him wanting to add more time to the match, and Adam Page going, no.
did.
If it definitely felt like a good heel turn, but it's Drew McIntyre levels where you completely understand why he's so pissed off because you're like, you look at it from his perspective, like the fans are really cheering for a guy that broke into his house and cut a promo on his child while he's sleeping. And now he's the bad guy? And now you're like, deciding to go back that guy up? What is wrong with you people? It's like, yeah, to hell with all of you. I'm a bad guy now. And it actually makes sense. What I like about AEW is, like, yes, the announcement of hiring for Mercedes Moné and Okada would be amazing to give them that good upswing. But the one thing we really do have to say with AEW is they never lost a beat when it comes to the storytelling. When it comes to the in-ring work, the promos, they still had it. They just got to a point where backstage drama really turned off the heaters for them.
Yeah, it definitely hurt them quite a bit, which is, and even as someone who likes what AEW is doing lately, of course, obviously, I speak about them all the time. We saw their first show of the year. I like AEW, but I mentioned to you the night of, like, it seems like there was a noticeable hit in star power compared to the last time they were in town. This this is looking to be the upswing that they need, especially when WWE is really improving greatly and hitting their stride. This is going to be the return to form I think AEW so desperately needs right now.
I'm all for it.
And with that consensus in mind, now at long last, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, the week that was, because literally the day after we were set to record last week's episode, we're thinking, okay, yeah, not one of us is going to make it to recording. Probably nothing major is going to happen this week. We can take a week off, and then we got,
boy, could we be more wrong.
Promo at the end of SmackDown. The promo that launched 1,000 hashtags. We had what appeared to be Cody giving his main event of WrestleMania to The Rock. What the heck happened? Like, I was almost numb when this happened. Our communal group chat was going like nuts.
It exploded.
Yeah, it really did explode, and just the amount of reactions, like, were staggering. My personal reaction was just one of, like, slow realization. I was like, no, 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 no.
And then there was one of us who's like, I don't see the problem, and I'm perfectly fine with it.
Send
Charlie.
tweet.
It's that son of a bitch as the beefcase.
But you know what's really wild is that I even mentioned this to you on the group chat. Just the fact that Charlie and we're both ticket holders for WrestleMania 40, but we still had such wild trips of opinions and perspectives on this whole past week.
Absolutely.
Just even before the whole hashtag of "We Want Cody" picks started picking up steam, and that we decided, okay, that's the one we're going to go with. Let's start with you right from the start. Charlie, what was your immediate reaction to the way this went on SmackDown?
Like Tark said, like Tark pointed out, I was fine with the SmackDown announcement getting The Rock because I looked at that as an opportunity for Cody to go against Seth, Rock to go against Roman, Roman to retain against Rock, Cody to go over against Seth, have the story go on, have more sympathetic vote towards Cody, and at SummerSlam have them unify the belts. That was my initial train of thought, that Cody would get his story finished and more by holding both belts. But we got Cody. I'm fine with that now. I was fine with it how it was. I'm behind Cody no matter what. So I'm a happy boy.
Yeah, just to sort of chart these reactions and why I felt so strongly about it. We're going to get to where we're at in just a second, but for right now, my major hang up was there were a few things for it. First of all, you did notice, like, I noticed you did say, Charlie, that, like, okay, what's the big deal? This is being blown way out of proportion. He's gonna do what you just said, that he's gonna face Seth, and then he's gonna unify the titles at SummerSlam. What's the big deal? Well, there's a couple factors that didn't quite fit that. Why I and myself and so many others were really troubled by this. First of all, the way it was done. Just the fact that it genuinely seemed at the time where he was declaring, I'm not going to face you at Roman at WrestleMania. I'm going to give my hard fought victory to The Rock. I'm like, okay, why? Like, that made no sense. Like, immediately when I saw The Rock whispering in Cody's ear, I'm like, that one quote from Negan from The Walking Dead came to mind, where he's just like, I just slid my dick down your throat and you thanked me for it. Like, no, no. Like, it seemed like such a punk ass way to go. It's like Cody looked like such a freaking cuck. He did. He looked like a cuck. He cucked his Royal Rumble shot. And like, it was just the dumbest shit. Pardon my language, but it seriously was. Not to mention the fact that I didn't get the payoff in the main event that I really wanted, that I was expecting to see when I paid out hundreds of dollars for WrestleMania tickets. And even more so for like hotels and travel and whatever else. That is the match I wanted to see above all else, because I wanted the payoff, and not just because I'm a Cody fan, but because I'm a fan of what Cody represented. Of that, if you invest your time and attention and passion into somebody, that this new regime of WWE is going to give you what you want, and you can be confident that's going to happen. Not just delaying it just for the sake of delaying it, and just like constantly tickling your balls and hoping you're going to be paying up more money. Like, we had enough of that in the Vince McMahon era. There's enough of that in wrestling, period. But you know what? I think I can speak for all fans everywhere when I say that, you know what? We can only have our balls tickled so much before you got to seal the deal. You got to give us some sort of payoff. The timing needs to be right. You need to get us at the peak of our interest. And then, whoop, bam, you give us our big moment. And then everyone goes home happy. Everyone gets a happy ending in the end. I'm a simple man. All I want is my happy ending. Is that so much to ask?
No, not at all.
I'm sure that's something season can handle for you, but okay.
What? Season doesn't have the ability to book WrestleMania. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
But in all
and
seriousness,
okay, and with that reaction, I just have to say, now knowing everything that's happened, now in complete relief that we didn't have an episode where we're pretty much just getting schooled by WWE. I'm glad that's a bullet dodged. All in all, I just have to say to Dwayne, to Cody, to Triple H, to Roman, to Seth, you schooled us, and you worked us hard.
Hashtag we got worked.
Hashtag we got worked, and I am
I'm
so
perfectly
happy to
fine
have
with
got
that.
I'm
I'm
so happy
perfectly
to have
fine with
gotten
it.
worked.
well, this is the weird thing too. Like, of course we got worked. It's professional wrestling. This is literally what we sign up for when we're fans. Like,
But
this is pro
it's
wrestling 101.
but
Not a
they
bad
took it.
thing.
They took it to a point where it's like, we're gonna pull something out of a Vince McMahon book, except we're actually gonna turn it around and actually give you guys what you want. That it's them working. It's them working us, but it's not the middle finger from Vince McMahon at the end. So like, no, this is I'm not doing a swerve. This is actually, I don't care what you people say. This is a, let's work the crowd to our advantage, and to a point where it just, thank you. Thank you for giving us some really fun storytelling for really fun storytelling for a week, just so you can get the headlines away from Vince McMahon and showing what a complete and absolute monster he is. And that's all that really needs to be said
Yeah, that's
on about him.
and you
Moving
know
on.
what? Just obviously that's a part of the whole tapestry of what we experienced this week. It's part of the whole reason why we got what we got. But you know what? I welcome it. It's not like how bad is the work when I get exactly what I want as a fan. I don't want even when the whole CM Punk thing happened with AEW, like it sucked not just because a wrestler that I used to like, I really just sort of acting like an unprofessional asshole and just sort of ruined a company that I enjoy. But mostly it was just like, come on, this is not fun. It's not resulting in any interesting stories or matches. Now it's like I'm getting the good matches. I'm getting the high profile spectacle. We're steering away from all the ugliness. We know that WWE and TKO is in a production where they're actively, for lack of more precise terms, draining the swamp and getting rid of all the gunk and stupidity that's of the old regime. And we're going to be ushering in a new, beautiful, big, exciting new time in professional wrestling. And like, I couldn't have asked for anything more. We're on the right track. And speaking on the right track, before I lose track of this, a special shout out needs to happen in all the craziness of this past week. I gotta shout out the Bailey and Io Sky situation
Yes.
because that promo was phenomenal. It's one of the best promos Bailey ever cut. It was a great setup. It was so well done. And with all the stupidity of the past week and all the paranoia we were all on, it kind of got lost in the shuffle, I think, and it really needs more praise than it's been getting.
And while we're at it and giving praise to that segment, give praise to TJ because he's the one that produced it.
Really?
Yes, TJ.
That I did not know.
TJ produced that segment, so give praise to him as well. I loved that segment. It was something you could have done in 2 separate episodes of SmackDown. Like one, you could have seen Bailey overhearing them. Then the next week, you could have had the turn. But it was done perfectly how they did it.
Yeah, for sure. Like that's, I know it's sort of, I got so excited with the whole Cody thing. I was like, okay, I want to avoid another Daniel Bryan situation. I'm just like, I will hashtag we want Cody in every other post I've got just to make sure that they're getting the message. And I hope they lay on the pressure and they're gonna do the right thing. And thankfully they did. In between shoving chicken nuggets up my ass as, but you know what? I don't care. I will shove all the chicken nuggets up my ass. I'm getting the matches that I want. So suck it, Rocky.
Okay.
You're welcome, internet. I'm just delivering all the good visuals today.
It was
the
the Rocky Pat McAfee reference. It was
No, it was the sticking chicken nuggets up your ass that really
that was what Rocky was saying on Pat McAfee's show.
Oh, okay. I didn't watch the Pat McAfee show.
You just thought I was just talking about chicken nuggets.
Yes,
my ass out of
I didn't
nowhere.
watch the Pat McAfee Rock interview.
I read Cliff Notes. I read Cliff Notes, so I knew where Jeff was going with that.
Okay.
Really
that must have been
awkward.
an awkward exchange just now.
It was a very awkward exchange because I'm just going, what the fuck are you talking about, Jeff? I am so lost. How did this become sticking chicken nuggets up?
Rock went on Pat McAfee and started the whole chicken nugget.
I only heard the only thing of the interview that I saw was the Cody Crybabies bit. That's all that I saw of it. So I didn't see the full interview, and this completely caught me off guard. And so
your face right now is priceless, Tark.
I just have to, it's like, so Pat McAfee is sticking chicken nuggets up The Rock's ass? Or is The Rock sticking the chicken nuggets up his own ass?
No, Rock's talking about Cody fans being crybabies and tweeting while sticking chicken nuggets. I don't know. There was a whole thing.
First you're eating chicken nuggets, and then like every 20th tweet, you're shoving a couple chicken nuggets up your ass, and you're a jabroni.
Oh.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking, you know,
Okay.
it's a Rock promo.
So so Rock isn't sticking it up his own ass. Okay, good to know.
No, you're in this theoretical scenario, the Cryberry Cody fans are sticking the proverbial chicken nuggets up their own Rudy Poo candy asses. You know, as you do in a Rock.
So
promo.
is it? I'm trying to think. Okay, who are the sponsors? Because like, whose chicken nuggets is he sticking it up their ass? Is it like Wendy's
WrestleMania
nuggets?
40 brought to you by Purdue and Tyson.
Oh, it's
Just
like
wait for the just wait.
I was
Tomorrow
thinking
we're
more of
gonna
like
see
chicken.
a press
It's like
release.
it's sponsored by WrestleMania, sponsored by McDonald's. Sticking chicken McNuggets up your ass.
But I'm loving it.
I'm loving
You're-
it.
You better be.
Tomorrow morning we're gonna see a press release. Chick-fil-A, we were going to be sponsoring WrestleMania 40, but never mind.
Knowing what they're gonna do with those chicken nuggets, I don't think so. No.
We're
Are they
backing
gonna
out,
chew
but
them
you can
up
still...
first, or are they putting it up just the entire nugget first up their ass? Wouldn't they just eat it and just come out?
How hot and crispy are our nuggets? Let's put them to the test, shall we?
Okay, sidebar.
Please do. Bring in a sidebar, please.
From here, do we go to a Raw Men's Elimination Chamber for Seth Rollins' opponent for WrestleMania?
Yeah. And
Okay.
Drew's gonna win it.
Oh God, I fucking hate Drew McIntyre right now.
I love
him.
Drew is
so good.
Drew is the best character.
I fucking hate him.
I love him so much.
So he's
He
doing
is an
his job.
he is an absolute troll, and his CM Punk WrestleMania Dreams Cemetery gravestone shirt has to be one of the best things I've seen. I'm like, please don't leave, Drew. I love this. I love this, Drew. Carry the fucking brand. Win the world title. Win the world title at WrestleMania in front of a live crowd that you so rightfully deserve.
So with all that being said, with all this
Awesome.
excitement and relief and speculation and chicken nuggets, all this stuff aside,
I'm hungry.
the only thing that's been confirmed after tonight is Cody Roman in the main event.
Yes.
But we do know that Rock is going to be involved in some capacity over the 2 nights. We do know that Seth Rollins has a title to defend, is going to be involved in the mix somehow.
They made it pretty clear that Becky Lynch is winning the Women's Elimination Chamber.
It does seem that way. But the main question I've got now is whether you're a ticket holder or not, what do you want? What do you think is going to happen, and what do you want to see happen?
What I think and what I want, I actually think I'm going for both. I think now with how the press conference went, which I still love the fact that the press conference wasn't like an official press conference. It was just a weekly wrestling show, just without the wrestling, because all it is just video packages and promos. You take the rest, you just add wrestling. That's a regular weekly television show for WWE. What I think and what I want is going to happen is night 1 is going to be main evented by Seth and Cody versus Rock and Roman in order to get their match at Mania. Rock wants to have a match at Mania, and putting him in a tag team match is actually a lot better, considering there is no way that man is going to go through a one-on-one match unless Roman carries him through the entire thing and with nothing but rest holds. Because we've seen his history with past special appearance WrestleMania matches. It doesn't end well for him most of the time. And Cody, Roman, and Seth are the kind of guys that I can actually see putting matches on 2 nights for WrestleMania. And Seth will have his match against Drew at night 2, and Cody and Roman close night 2.
Okay.
That seems to be the big story going on online right now, and I'm gonna just lean in on that because that's actually a great WrestleMania 2-night main event for me. Both world champions in the main event at night 1 on the opposite ends, and then the title defenses are on night 2.
Okay, so you think both world titles it'll be on the line on night 2?
Yeah.
Okay. That could work.
I'm gonna say I wasn't originally keen on that idea just because I don't like the idea of too many people having back-to-back WrestleMania matches. Even if they are really good, like maybe one or two people having both wrestling on both nights. But the more I think about it after the press conference that we saw, I especially didn't factor Seth into that account. But
Yeah,
you
I was
know
gonna
what?
say Seth had to be out there for a reason, right? He's gonna get brought
My
into.
first thought was that he was just out there to sort of like create some drama before Cody eventually revealed who he was going to be facing. But given the dynamic that we saw there, yeah, he did seem like he was a bit more involved than before. So, yeah, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm on board with the fact that, okay, maybe WrestleMania 40 is going to be like almost like a WWE Civil War kind of thing. Like, the established Samoan dynasty versus the the workhorses of the WWE. Where does the power truly come from?
Yeah.
Just like a really like a Civil War thing. But I'm gonna make one more prediction to that, and we're gonna see how things progress. So this is a preliminary prediction on my part. I think that there's going to be the seeds of some level of discord happening with between Rock and Roman on night 1. Something's going to happen. Maybe they win, maybe they don't, but there's going to be some sort of a tension there. And leading up to night 2, when we get the big rematch between Roman and Cody, there's going to be a lot more people around ringside. There's going to be all the Samoans. There's going to be Rock. Maybe the Rikishi will show up. Of course, we've got probably any remaining Usos. We've got probably have Solo Sikoa if he's not in the match and he's not taken out of the picture. There's going to be more Samoans at ringside. There's going to be maybe hopefully someone backing up Cody. Hopefully, maybe it might even be Punk with all the smack he's talking about. Rocky coming in and about taking his main event and Roman, punching Roman in the face, whatever. I think it's gonna be the more of a even more of a climax of just faction warfare that we got last week or last year rather. What is time?
It was only 52 weeks
Okay,
ago.
we're getting sounds like we're getting some audio interference on Charlie's end. But yeah, that's basically my final prediction. I think it's going to be absolute pandemonium, far bigger than when we got at WrestleMania 39. It's ultimately going to result in Cody pinning Roman clean, 1, 2, 3, getting the title that he rightfully earns and deserves, and finishing the story that way. So we can finally put this whole chapter behind us and we move on to something fresh and new. Ugh.
Now
Yeah,
I just
Charlie, I don't know what's going on with your audio right now. Tarek, are you good or is it just me?
Am I coming in clear?
coming in clear for me. I don't know what is going on, but Now
Yeah,
just
you're
this
not
like
coming. I'm
discuss.
sorry, you're not coming in very clear on my end. Hopefully, it's
Hmm.
just may just be me.
Was
The
it to
audio
both of
seems
us?
really cluttered.
Is it both of us or just Charlie?
Yeah, you're almost sounding like Darth Vader on my end. I'm sorry.
Ah, so it's both of us.
It,
Okay. Um, now all this makes me want to do is just have each of us make a like do a prediction on what we think the WrestleMania card is going to be,
Ooh, that would be fun.
and then just give our give our answers next week.
Okay, I'm down for that.
Okay, I didn't catch a single word of that. It's all coming
No!
through very garbled, but I'm just gonna assume it was a good idea. I'm gonna say I agree with everything.
Here we go. I'm
I
gonna grab my phone. I'm going to
was just
text.
about to do that.
I'm going to text
Yeah,
you.
this is like we're having some technical difficulties, but you know what? I think we've made our opinions known. We've gotten it all out there. We've breathed our sighs of relief. We've gotten the hype is now up again. We out of damage control mode. You've heard what we think, but now we want to hear from you, our fellow fans. What do you think is going to happen at WrestleMania? What did you think of the press conference? What role did you play in the whole "We Want Cody" debacle? Do you think it's overblown, or do you think we did what we all had to do? No matter what you think, let us know all across the internet. YouTube comments, Facebook posts, all across social media. We want to hear from you no matter what. So, yes, I'm checking. Okay. Hopefully the audio came through on your end, but in case it doesn't, Tark suggesting that we make a prediction of what the WrestleMania card is going to be, and we're going to give our answers next week. Okay. So yeah, that's next week's episode set. So in the meantime, yeah, you're still sounding like a drowning Darth Vader. We're gonna have to do some technical fixes on our end. But
Now
in
I
the
just have to
meantime,
answer. I just have to ask whether it's like if I
yeah, I
try and
still
do a
got nothing on Tark. I'm sorry.
Darth Vader voice, Charlie. If I do a Darth Vader voice, and how
In the
deep it would be
meantime,
coming in on
I'd
his
hate to
end.
talk over you, but you can still find us all across the internet, and we'll give this one more try. Fool, where can they reach you?
The Avataric.
That's just for the record, in case it didn't come through. It just sounded like the Avatar.
Oh God.
I don't know what's causing this, but it's wild. And Charlie, where can they reach you?
Charlene.
Charlie. Seriously, this is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. But in the meantime, speaking of bizarre, you can also reach me at I'm Robbie Rage. And for all the relevant social media links and much more, check us out at our link tree in the description box below at both YouTube and our podcast version. That's linktree/Scholars of Wrestling. And with that, we're going to try and clear up these technical difficulties. And we're always going to be at it. We're going to be so hyped on the week on the road to WrestleMania because you know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome.
welcome.
See you all on the continued road to WrestleMania.